Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode. Yay! Today I am joined by one of my besties, Nikki Roy, and we are in the middle of the forest drinking tea. Beautiful forest.
So nice.
Animals all about, if you can hear it in the background. It's going to be hard for my ADHD self, but we are going to get through this and it's going to be amazing. And today was a very last minute decision to jump on the mics and record this episode. And actually, it was Nikki's idea for the topic. And we are going to be discussing self-esteem, particularly in women, and what it's constructed of, where we learned it, how we feel it, what it means to each of us. And it's actually not a subject that I've talked about a lot. Or even deconstruct. Well, no, not talked about a lot. I retract my original statement.
Talk about it.
I talk about it a lot, but I don't, I've never really associated where it's come from or what it is to me. So I think this episode is going to be very powerful.
I know, I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
Dissect it more, but then also
Absolutely.
I think a lot of women have a very similar experience, but then we also have these turning points and different factors and influences because of our unique identities, our upbringing, our family traumas, environment, everything that goes into that. So, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Let's start things off with a question, Nikki.
Sure. Fire it at me.
Let's go. What were you taught about who you had to be and the role you played in this world? Oh, Jonesy's joining us. Jonesy's Nikki's cat.
I think, it's such a broad question. And again, what I was just saying before, I think a lot of women can relate to very similar themes around this. Again, it can differ based on your own unique identity. As a straight woman, I'll never know what it was like for a queer woman.
Totally.
As a white woman, I'll never know what it was like for a brown or black woman. And so nuances within this for sure. But I think a lot of women can relate to the fact that we're taught to stay quiet. We're taught to stay small. No one likes a loud girl. No one likes a bossy girl. No one, you're like, me.
Me looking in the mirror every day. Yeah. Fuck you for not liking me.
Right? But how diminished that makes our inner flame, right?
Totally.
So it's taught to, I think, follow the rules, smile and kind of shut up. Don't get in trouble. And then when we're talking about beauty standards, what we're supposed to look like, how we're supposed to express, what our bodies are supposed to look like, and I think in my family, my mom did a lot of her own kind of work naturally, I think, just because of who she was as a person. Not that she didn't struggle with any of that, but when we think about the context of our family and then zoom out and go the context of societal impact and social structures. So what did I experience going into elementary school or high school or college? And I think all of those add different layers, but I can remember being so young and hating my body, being so young and hating my hair color because it was never what it should be, quote unquote. So when we think about who did the world teach me to be? Well, the world taught me to stay in line in an aspect of, you're a girl, you're supposed to stay quiet, don't have too many opinions, don't be loud, don't be bossy. This is your role. Your role is to nurture or care for. We always got praised for being so kind and being empathetic and
positive.
All the positive things. So it's when that's what you're getting reinforced, that's the role that you think you have to play.
Yeah.
And then you get in trouble if you step out of that role. You get in trouble if you're too emotional. You get in trouble if you're too loud.
Yeah.
You get in trouble if you're not nice.
That's powerful.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And so I think when we don't really have much of an opposition showing us something else, You know, and for me, I grew up in a really small town. So I didn't really have a lot of female role models that were doing something different. So that was who I thought I had to be all the time, because that was the only thing that I was really being shown. So the idea of like, who am I supposed to become was very narrow. And there was like stipulations to who I had to be.
Yeah.
Do you feel similar? Like, what do you think?
Honestly, like I was today years old when I thought about this, like in depth. I feel like you have like this gift about you where you like can ask people questions that really gets to the deeper root. And I've always been like, oh, self-esteem. And I actually think of a mirror when I think of self-esteem. So I think that's key in my own perception of it. But I feel like, yeah, similar to some regard. I will say that in the environment I was raised in, if you've been tuning in for long enough, you know it was not great. So,
Not a good time.
trigger warning. But my mom was she was very unhealed, which made her very toxic. So her view on herself played a huge role. And then her view on us. I remember, as little as like maybe 8 when I did my makeup for the first time. I've never shared this with you. I don't think I've ever shared this with anyone. I was so proud of myself because I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to be. This is what my mom does. This is what her friends do. And so I like came downstairs and I was like, look. And I remember she took one look at me and just laughed. She was like, you look like a clown. And then she made fun of me with all of her friends and made all of her friends laugh. Wow. So that was like a core memory for me. And I feel like my self-esteem was always circulating the validation I got from my parents and from my mom, you know, in a physical matter, because she was a woman too. And she was very insecure herself. So that kind of projected onto me. So when I think of self-esteem, I mainly just think of physical, and I think of beauty standards, and I think of, being unable to attain beauty standards in every era.
Totally.
Is what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think like when you share that, it's like when you were so proud of yourself for doing your makeup and you wanted to go out and show your mom, and you were probably this lit up little girl, so excited. And when she had that reaction and then furthermore like laughed. Yeah. It's like thinking about what do you internalize off of that? And it's like an aspect of probably, I'm not good enough. This isn't like good enough for her. I'm not okay. I can't.
Okay, we're 5 minutes in and I feel like I'm gonna cry.
I know, I saw your eyes watering. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna stop there.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Go deep.
But then that gets wired into your identity.
And by you saying that, it made me remember something else that my one friend, like, because we grew up in a home where you had to be very put together. We were all dying on the inside, but the church can't know and the neighbors can't know. Right. So we were like primmed and prepped. And, you know, from a young age, she would put makeup on us. You know, we had like blush and our hair curled and we looked like little princesses. And I think she took, you know, joy in that. My mom likes to control the outside of everything because she can't control what's going on, the chaos inside. Oftentimes when I feel like people have chaos going on inside and they can't organize internally what's happening, they or try to organize externally. And so I feel like we were always very well kept. The house was very well kept, but inside we were all like
totally
not well.
Yeah.
But she made us always feel as though we needed to look prim and proper. And I remember she would always say, like, make sure you're always in clean underwear in case you're in a car accident and they have to cut your underwear off of you. Imagine if the paramedic, if you're all, you know, in a car accident and they have to cut off your underwear and there's shit on it. Like, that was her analogy. And I'm just like, for sure, that's the first thought of a paramedic.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to give a shit. what's on your underwear.
Oh my God. This is why I love
Yeah.
going into an episode blind, bro, because you just you don't know what's going to happen with the subconscious. But I feel like from an early age, yes, I always had to be prepped to leave the house. And one of my friends in grade 8 called me out on it. And she was like, why do you have to look perfect before you leave the house? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess because I've always been taught that unless I looked perfect, I wasn't.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And it's like those types of things you can almost like trace the dots back to like, okay, if I have to think this much about all the what ifs before I even leave the house and have things so perfect.
Yeah.
And if it's not perfect, I get maybe like yelled at or ignored or,
Ridiculed
belittled,
or,
whatever it is.
Yep.
Then we start to, and I'm saying we, like me and you, we start to internalize this dialogue of like, I am only okay if. I am only good enough if.
Yeah.
And all of these rules, quote unquote, get wired into our self-esteem and get wired into our identity, because how can we learn how to learn who we are authentically when we can't even get past things like, what underwear am I wearing? And like, is my hair straightened? And what if I get into a car accident?
Yep.
And what if I see so-and-so uptown? Like, we're so worried about trying to, again, quote unquote, control these factors or appear a certain way. But that's also getting hardwired into the blueprint of who we are.
Yeah.
And that all comes out as self-esteem.
All right, guys, that was just a taste. The full episode, the raw, unfiltered version, is waiting for you on Patreon. This season is different. I'm talking sex parties, heartbreak, identity shifts, imposter syndrome, the shit I've never said out loud. No edits, no filters, no fluff. If you're ready to hear the full story, you know where to find me. Link is in the show notes, and I'll see you on the inside.